Hello, fifth grade. So today is our second to last class of the year, but I want you to make sure that over the summer you don't lose your math skills. I hope that you take this summer to make sure that you're working on your multiplication tables, that you're making sure that you're ready for sixth grade, either on apps or a summer bridge book. There's an example of one that I just put up that helps you not forget everything that you learned this year. And maybe you'll touch on some things that we didn't talk about this year, but will be helpful when you move into middle school. So, all right, today's lesson is a problem-solving application lesson, and it's based on a book, just like we do at the end of every chapter. And this book is all about the shoreline. I'm going to give you a minute to turn to page 506. We're going to be doing page 506 and 507. You know, the Bible mentions the beach in the Bible, and the reason it mentions the beach is God is telling Abraham that his descendants will be as many as the sands on the ocean. And if you've ever been to the ocean, we are very, very blessed in Rhode Island and Massachusetts to be so close to the ocean. Rhode Island's actually called the Ocean State. My family and I went to the ocean the other night, and then we went again the day after. And we went to two different places. And so we're very blessed in this part of the country to be so close to the water. And the creatures and the water and just the way that the tide is related to the moon and just the way that God does everything is just so amazing. And he created all of that, and he created it to bring glory to him, but also for our pleasure. So if you look on page 506, you'll see shoreline animals. As you walk along the shore, an entirely different world lies just out of view. Just under the water live animals unlike anything on land. If you are patient and wait for the tide to go out, you may be able to see some of these unique creatures. Trivia. Scallops can swim even though they lack flippers. When they clap their shells together, they create jets of water that propel them forward. Isn't that cool? So let's look at number one. I'm going to do number one with you, and then I want you to start working on the rest of them before we meet for Zoom. And then I will meet you after that, and hopefully we'll be able to talk about some of these if a lot of you have already started. Okay, number one, Australia has about 16,100 miles of coastline. Russia has about 1.46 times as much coastline. Canada has about 9.5 times as much, and the United States has about 0.77 times as much coastline as Australia. Which country has the most coastline? How much coastline do these four countries have all together? Okay, so if each coastline has a certain number times 16,100 miles, which one is going to have the most coastline? Obviously the one that obviously the one that has the highest number of times, which is Canada. Okay, so it says, how much coastline do these 4 countries have all together? Well, how are we going to find that out? Well, first, we need to add all of the decimals together. Okay, remember when we add decimals together, we need to line up the decimal point. Okay? So 1.46, which is Russia, 9.5, which is Canada, and 0.77, which is the United States, adds up to 11.73. Okay, and then I add 1. Why? Because we have to actually count Australia too, because it's all of them added together. So 12.73. So then I take 16,100, which is Australia, and multiply it by 12.73, and I get 204,953. Okay, so that is number 1. All right, so I'm going to give you a little bit of time to work on the rest of those, and I will see you in a few minutes.